Live. Thanks everyone for joining and for people watching this back. This is just a little bit of an update and an insight into the fundraising so far that we've done. As I said, we'll continue it for a while. I'll come up with new ideas on how to raise money for the situation, because it does look like it's going to keep deteriorating for the foreseeable future anyway. For those people who aren't aware of what's happening, the bushfires have been wreaking havoc pretty much nationwide now. It's starting to become a situation, big situation in Australia. But I was reading stories this morning about how the government had cut for the fire service tackling this on the front line. I've also seen things how there's a lot of volunteers, and the volunteers that, obviously, because it's voluntary, are not getting paid, and the government's refusing to pay them or acknowledging the work that they're doing. So fundraising for things like water, equipment is vital to helping them on the front line and in this situation right now. So we're raising money for the fire service. Also, thirsty koalas. I've read that there's over 2,000 koalas killed so far, an estimation of 2,000 koalas killed so far in New South Wales alone. So really, really dire situation there. I had done a sleep out on Saturday night, which was actually it was actually not too bad. It was all right. It was very, very windy. It wasn't too bad. I slept well enough, and we raised a little bit of money, not an awful lot, but we raised a little bit of money. So it's all accumulating in the one pile so far. We've got over a couple of £100 raised. Through speaking to people on maybe that video, I think it was, when I was talking about that, I have somebody suggesting the idea, and I want to promote this one now on the channel. Obviously, kids. Hello, Lockie, mate. How's it going? Lachlan, Don Father. I want to promote the idea of, obviously, we're coming up till Christmas time now. And I know there's a lot of people lost their homes or could possibly lose their homes between now and Christmas. So potentially a lot of gifts maybe bought for children, ruined in house fires. There's going to be a lot of families with actually nothing left, maybe what they can grab in their hands or into a car or whatever. Salvaged. So the idea of maybe getting some toys together, presents, gifts for kids raised. I do not know how. I don't know if there's anybody doing that out in Australia right now, but if there is, please let me know, and I'll try and promote what they're doing to try and help. How's it going, Jeff, mate? Good afternoon. I'll try and promote it. I'm not too sure if anybody's aware of anybody that's actually doing this idea. As an Aussie, I love the stuff you're doing. Thanks very much, mate. Staying at my grandparents' house as I've been evacuated. Oh my word, mate. That's like I've actually spoke to quite a few people who, excuse me, I'm losing my voice a little bit, who are either possibly about to lose their homes or they're being evacuated. A lot of people are friends of the channel, who have built up kind of friendships with over time through the channel. They're on the front line of it. They're evacuating their homes, or their house has been burnt, unfortunately, or there's potential in the area for it to deteriorate quickly. I've seen loads of videos of when the wind hits the fire, it's like an explosion going off, and the forests are just being, torched in a matter of minutes, not hours. So it's absolutely devastating. And I don't think, from what I'm reading, that it's going to stop anytime soon either, and it's become nationwide. It's not just Queensland now and New South Wales, which are the hardest hit places. They're probably the hardest hit so far, but we're getting it in Western Australia, obviously South Australia as well. But what I'm very, very disappointed is the reports that the Australian government cut funding to the fire service, hasn't really acknowledged the fact that the volunteers are absolutely exhausted. They're breathing in harmful smoke. They're potentially putting their lives on the line to save animals and people's homes. And the government are just stepping back and doing fuck all. They're an absolute disgrace, to be honest with you. I don't know why they're not acting. I don't know why there's not like an emergency money being pumped in, not only to the fire service, but to the volunteers helping them. They shouldn't be getting nothing. They're putting their bodies on their lives on the line, really, in certain areas, breathing that harmful smoke for a long period of time. Who knows what kind of long-term effects that may have on you? There could be plastic burning it. You know, you just don't know what kind of things are burning in this, and fumes that they're breathing in. Out of the cave. I like this comment here, and I'm going to read it out loud. There are a lot of communities here pulling together and help others. And I think from a lot of the stories, that's so good to hear, that people are actually doing this and helping each other. It's true Aussie spirit there. I think a lot of countries would probably do that. It's like a sense of community in times of crisis. I think that's what generally would happen. But just getting back to the point, because of that, I feel that the communities are doing that, and it's amazing to see that and hear that. But I certainly feel like the government could be doing more in terms of the fire service, helping them. Equipment, water should not be debated. It shouldn't be negotiated about. It should just be like, right, we're going to get this to you. No matter what, you're getting this. No matter what. There's an emergency fund going in to help that, but that hasn't seemed to be the case. They're cutting funding. They're relying on volunteers from America and Canada to come over, who, have, as far as I believe, are not getting paid at all. They're volunteering in the crisis right now, so thanks very much to them for doing their bit. But one person actually also messaged me, and I don't see your name here, mate, but if you do watch it back, thanks very much. I think your name was Alex. I can't remember your surname, but you did just message me, and you're saying, seeing me doing my little things, like little challenges, has inspired him to go and maybe try and do something fundraising. So do try. I mean, if you've not got any money yourself to be able to donate or help, or you're not in the area to help hands-on, you've got the idea of maybe a fundraiser or a way of getting, as I say, Christmas is coming up. There's going to be kids maybe missing out on the big time of year, even gifts for kids, so those kids aren't missing out. Little things like that, just anything you can think of, left field, outside of the box, would be unbelievable, actually. So the fact that somebody said I've inspired them, I was actually really taken aback by that, because I'm just doing a little bit to give back from what Australians have done for me so far. Like, so this t-shirt here, I've had gifts for, because I'm doing like AFL videos or Australian based videos. I've had a lot, as I said in previous videos, I've been kind of welcome open arms, me and the family. People have been really, really good to us, and I feel like it's only a little thing that we could do to help us as a channel try and raise some money for this situation. Even companies have cut ads, and instead of promoting their company, they are helping to raise money. Well, that's unbelievable. So you've got companies doing things. It's the state government that controls the fire purse. I did actually read that, and obviously in the UK we don't really have state governments as such. Yes, obviously Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, England, but you don't have like states as such. So it's kind of similar, I suppose, in that sense in the UK. But I don't understand why any one of them, no matter what the state is, would think that it was a good idea to cut any sort of funding. I've seen a lot of things as well. I've read a lot of stories about how backburning had been kind of outlawed in a way. Backburning was essential to controlling the overgrowth, I think. And it hadn't been happening for, I don't know, a number of years maybe. And obviously mix that with the really dry weather, been getting really hot temperatures as you've been getting in Australia. Hottest year on record, driest year on record, I think 2019 was. And then obviously people, arsons, people lighting stuff themselves. Loads of different things and loads of different reasons why the fires have started in the first place, but they're out of control. You must be heartless if you're looking at the koalas on the road burnt to death when you see those images, it's absolutely devastating. And to think somebody started that, I can't say live on a stream. I can't say live on a stream how angry that should make people. Oh, Merry Christmas, mate. Merry Christmas to you all. What will be 15 days away? That's just another thing. It was that. I never really, I always thought, oh, we'll try and raise money. 2,000 koalas dead is what I read and estimated. But not only that, they're functionally extinct now. So the natural habitat that they had will never, probably ever get back to what it was. So they're functionally extinct now. So that's devastating in its own right, never mind the figures. So really dire situation on that front. But as I said, I never actually thought about it because I was too busy thinking about fundraising money. But actually the fact of Christmas coming up, houses burnt, everything that had been bought for children possibly burnt with it, moved out of their homes, kids getting out, some of the kids that are maybe evacuated from their homes aren't going to possibly get a good Christmas, which is quite a sad thought. We are quite lucky here. I've never really had to worry about that. You know, I think when it's at times like this as well, I made a point of saying you can't help but think if it had been a third world country, the world would be rallying together to try and help in natural disasters like this. And somebody mentioned the volcano in the eruption in New Zealand, which was, I think there's no sign of. Oh, thanks very much, mate. To the firemen, thanks very much. All the donations from anything that I do about Australian bushfires goes into our fundraising pot. It's over, I think it was over about £215, £220 so far we've raised. And I'm going to continue to raise money. And promote other people that are raising money as well, and ideas. If anybody's coming up with a fundraiser themselves or an idea that they've got, I'm happy to help promote it on the channel, because I'm aware that we're getting people watching the channel to see what's going on really as well. Some people don't really know that we've been doing Australian videos, and they're maybe just coming along an Australian bushfire title and clicking into it and then seeing and wondering why the hell there's a Scottish guy talking about it. But getting back, thanks very much, Nicholas, mate. Really generous of you. Thank you. And as I said, I will put all of that together in the pot together. And then once I'm finished the fundraising, I'll split it 50-50 between the Thirsty Koalas and the fire service. I know that they're getting it tight right now, really, really hard. Exhausted, some of them. So thank you. I couldn't help but think that if it had been a third world country or a country worse off, that the world would be queuing up to get brownie points. A big pat on the back from the other countries. The humanitarian aid sent in, and I'm quite sure Australia is one of the biggest givers as well in situations like this to the rest of the world. So it's absolutely bewildering to me why a country that's maybe a westernised country, nobody's rallying around. They're being left to their own devices to kind of deal with the exception, and I want to point out the Canadian volunteers and the American volunteers, the firefighters that have came over to volunteer their efforts to help. So a big shout out to them. But as a whole, with the money situation, loads of other ways they could have been helping on this, and it's not really made our news here. It's kind of a snippet news. It's not headline news at all in the UK. I know that for a fact. And I'm not too sure about America, but I'd be very surprised if it's making their mainstream media either. Maybe just adverts popping up on people's social media timelines. Or look at this, these devastating pictures of the koalas being burnt and stuff. But it's not enough for people to dig deep and raise money, or governments donating money. I've never heard once of the UK sending aid or money to help at all, which is annoying to me, because we help everything else. We help everything else, and nobody asks any questions. Alessandro, mate, it's going to be scary the next few days in Perth. Tomorrow, 39 degrees. Wednesday, 40 degrees. Thursday 40 degrees, Friday 40, 40, 40, 40 degrees for about 5 or 6 days straight there. And I know that you're saying Perth there, so Western Australia is already getting the bushfires as well, so you can't help but with it, think. But these high temperatures that you're getting and the dry spell that you've already had leading up to this, it's going to be it could be pretty bad. Yeah, I mean the New Zealand volcano, it's big news, isn't it? And I know you've got 11 Aussies missing, possibly dead. I think I read something or I seen something there that says there was no sign of life when the aeroplane flew over the island. I don't know if it's just a volcano or if it's an island. I don't know too much about it. It just seemed to be out in the ocean a little bit when I saw the images. But thoughts go out to them and their families. If there's any of them alive, hopefully they can save them. I know that's unbelievably big news as well, and I hope that the bushfires don't get pushed to the back now as an Australian government's way of trying to turn a blind eye to part of the problem that they've created. Two reasons: lack of funding for the fire service to help them control the situation, and whether it's state governments, and obviously the backburning, which I've read has been serious. I think it's as old as time in the land of Australia that the Aboriginal and Indigenous people backburnt in order to kind of control overgrowth and stuff like that there. To stop these sort of wild bushfires from happening, backburning is essential. So the fact that it was stopped in the first place is a bewildering decision to me. We do it in Scotland. Obviously, we don't get bushfires, but we do it in Scotland for the wild heather that's on the Highlands. They kind of they go around with the blowtorches and control blazes and burn all the heather to kill off all the sort of overgrowth and encourage new growth, new fresh growth. And it's very, very good ecologically for the wildlife as well. So it's very, very good and essential, really. So the fact that they took the decision to stop doing this is insane. And they're part of the problem, in my opinion, on that one. Sasquatch, yes, I've seen Nat Fife play a double Brownlow medalist now, Dockers fan. I thought he had a very good year. He wasn't necessarily my choice of Brownlow medalist this year, but a top player. Really, really like watching him. He's involved in an awful lot of the positive and good things that the Dockers do. So, musical Neptunian. You've had relatives that's went to that volcano in the past, so I don't know how. I don't know how often this volcano is active, how often it erupts, or if it's once in a decade or however long. But it's obviously it's going to have people constantly now going on about things like climate change and global warming, isn't it? All the obviously down that part of the world, the Pacific Ocean and all that there. You've got the plate shifts all the time. You're always getting things like that, earthquakes, and there's loads of volcanoes up around Indonesia and Asia and all the rest of it. It's just we don't get anything like that up here, so it's really when it happens, it's kind of big news to us as well. Mooney Moon, mate, I just want to say to you, mate, thanks very much for the donation on GoFundMe. I did see it. I did thank you through it, but thanks very much for the donation. It really does mean a lot. Anything we can do to help, we're trying to do. I will probably do another fundraiser, but I'm looking for ideas of what I could do to fundraise. I'll maybe do a fundraiser every couple of weeks over this period where it's still out of control right now. And then once I think we've reached the point where it's got so desperate, we'll donate as much money as we can of it in to them. Hello, Anna. Hello, True Footy. Big Oz. Anybody else that's just joined that I've just missed your comments have went up there. Hello to you all. Oliver. Oliver, your comment, I kind of agree with you there. More people, mainly the government, are paying more attention to the volcano in New Zealand than the fires here, I swear. It's classic deflect. It's when you realise that a story doesn't necessarily look good for your government. The mainstream media are kind of encouraged to change people's, divert people's attention onto something kind of, well, it is quite horrific, really, the volcano erupting and people possibly losing their lives. It's horrific, but it is classic. Time and time again, you'll see it to try and divert people's attention from quite a serious situation you're already enduring. I've seen, obviously, Sydney is engulfed in smoke right now, and I've read a lot of comments from people out more in the country, Western Sydney, saying, well, we've been living with the smoke for about a month now, and there was no word of it until it happened to the city. Nobody should be breathing in these fumes whatsoever. It's not good for their health in the long term, I'd imagine. So, you know, regardless of where it is, I just think people have a right to breathe fresh air, don't they? There should be more done. At the end of the day, nobody wants to have to leave their home or where they live, but your health should come first, particularly that of the young and the elderly, and then everybody else who can look after themselves. You've got your own way, get your own way out if you can, but definitely need to be looking after the more vulnerable. Moon, you crook from sleeping on the porch, bro. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, mate. I did say it was a slight bit of a cop-out, but let me tell you something right now. The wind absolutely battered me most of the night because there's no protection from the wind. It was hammering down. The rain was absolutely smashing down at one point, and it was kind of missing me. And then when the wind came in, it was covering me, but the rain had kind of died off as the wind was hitting me. So the rain and the wind was really, really hitting me. And you all know I never had any waterproof covering. So it was a cop-out that I chose to sleep on the doorstep, but I was still under the elements. Trust me. Trust me, mate. Thanks very much anyway. Big Oz, 1977. I was working near one of the fires in Blue Mountains today. I had helicopters carrying water buckets flying over my head all day. I mean, they're really stretched, aren't they? They're doing their best there. I've seen quite a few videos of that. The work that they're doing, tireless work they're doing, they're heroes really on the front line where the fires are at their worst, trying to desperately save life, animals, and obviously people's homes. They're modern day heroes. Not all of them wear capes, you know. That kind of old saying, isn't it? Have I seen the satellite photos, Anna? Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of images. Like the scale and size of Australia in its own right for somebody from a small island like me, where you can kind of drive across the island in an hour or two from coast to coast. It's unbelievable, really, the scale and size of Australia. And when you think that, I think people were telling me the first fire, when it first started really happening a few weeks ago to a month ago, maybe more than that now, there was an area burnt 3 times the size of Scotland or something. So that's absolutely mental. So yeah, the images, I've seen aerial ones, I've seen ones across the coast where it's just, I've seen before and after shots. Unbelievable. Who do I think the best AFL player is? This year I thought it was Patrick Cripps or Lachie Neale. Thanks very much for the question. Do you like Richmond Tigers? Because I love them. They're not my team. I'm a Bulldogs fan now. But Richmond thoroughly deserved the flag this year, didn't they? Unbelievable footy team this year. Jessica, a lot of them are volunteers. Yeah, I pointed that out. And I know some of the stories you're reading about the volunteers, I don't know who your Prime Minister is or President or whatever you call it there, but he's pretty much came out with an interview in the media saying that people want to volunteer. We want to encourage them to get some rest and obviously take it easy, but they want to be there, they want to help, they want to volunteer. But basically, he's not saying they're not going to get any pay, they're not going to get anything really for their efforts. So they really are just working off their own desire to help. And I know people are volunteering and don't want any recognition for their efforts, but come on, the fuck. People are putting their lives on their lines, breathing in that smoke, for weeks upon end fighting this. Like when that wind came in on one of the videos, it looked like a bomb had went off because it just went, and it was just wind catching the bushfire. And it looked like an explosion going off, and the fire service had to literally flee out of the way of it. So they're potentially going to get killed doing this job. And you've got a government turning blind eyes saying they're volunteers, they want to volunteer, they want to be there, they want to help. Yeah, they do want to help. Every good Australian wants to help. But they definitely deserve some sort of recognition for their efforts, whether it's some pay or whatever, perks in some way. They should be getting something. Sharon, no, it's my pleasure to help. Your comment there, it's my pleasure to help. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I don't know if you've seen one of my surprise AFL box opening there, our latest gift that we got sent from down under, and we had a story from the young player Fletcher. Obviously, he's playing junior footy just now under 12s. Just the whole story from the family about how much they love the channel and they enjoy watching our AFL videos. A foreigner's take on it, really, like obviously us being foreigners, our take on the sport, which we love, and the generosity of the gifts for me, my children. But the letters really touched me because we're just normal people, and when you're getting letters from people saying about how much they enjoy your stuff, it really is humble. It is. You kind of have to go, I didn't realise you were having that kind of positive effect or impact on people, that they were enjoying something that you were doing so much. So just being welcomed like that there from people with the channel, we wanted to give a little bit back, in terms of obviously our channel's doing quite a lot of videos for Australia that are getting some decent amount of views, relatively big in certain area of views. So if we can kind of raise money through the channel and help, why not? It's the least we can do when we're getting help and support from down under. Villains Code, head on for, if you want the YouTuber friendly Geordies, has some really good videos about the fires in Australia. Thanks very much, mate. I will actually have to check that out. I'm not, Jessica's you went into a bit of details here. I'm not 100% politically minded, it's not good for the mental health. That's all I'll say on that. But thanks very much for kind of the details there anyway. But for me personally, anytime I've got kind of interested in politics, I've always ended up emotionally upset about something. So I just don't bother my arse with them. They're all a useless shower of liars. There's none of them got... They're supposed to be public servants. I've not came across one politician that's a public servant, whether it's been in the local area or at a national level. They're always digging up shit about each other rather than focusing on the people they're representing. They're supposed to be public servants, civil servants, public servants, but they're self-servant bastards. So that's how I feel about them. They're an absolute disgrace. Here in the UK, I feel right now, on that front, we're probably one of the most turned upside down countries in that sense. Nobody knows who to trust or believe in anymore. So I've had my fill with them all. All of them can take their face for a shite because they're all liars. Hi Dylan, mate. Just noticed you on there, Dylan. No, it's all good, mate. If you're at work, maybe. If I've got time, I'll try and give you a ring back later. If you give me a message and let me know when you're free, I'll try and talk to you, mate. Apologies for the voice, everyone. I've been trying to talk here. I don't know. I think my wife had the cold, so I'm kind of getting it. Probably picking it up off her. Ozzy Osbourne. I like that name, mate. I've seen your name before popping up. It makes me laugh. It is really sad to say, but look, I always find you see the true greatness of communities, of countries, when the chips are down and you're kind of you're against it a wee bit. That's when you start to see communities pulling together and the true spirit to help each other comes to light. So in situations like this, when it is quite catastrophic, obviously the goodness of the human beings is starting to come through in Australia. They're all helping. They're helping the fire service. They're going out and trying to feed them. They're going out and helping them, giving them water. They can't go in and fight the fires, but they can go and help the firefighters. So loads of little ways you can help in the area. If you're near the fires, but you're safe at a safe distance, you can help. And that's where you see the true greatness, I think, in communities and in countries, is when the chips are down, people work together and help. And in some ways, I think the modern world we live in, where we think we need satellite TV, we need internet, we need the next biggest TV, the best mobile phone, the best computer, the nicest car. We've all not got our mind on the best things, the simple things in life, family, community. So food on the table really is important, isn't it? But you overlook it because you're always thinking about the next item that you need to buy. Everybody's in a rush to get somewhere, but they're going nowhere. I think it's fucking madness. But when something like this happens, everybody slows down and starts to see what's most important, and they dig in together. Digging spirit, the diggers spirit of Australia is shining through now. And keep up the good work, that's all I'll say. And as I said, there was a person that said I had inspired them to maybe do a bit of fundraising. So if anybody's got an idea that they think, do you know what, I might organise a fundraiser around the area where we could help. We could set up a cake stall or do a sponsored run or do fancy dress or do something. A cycle, one of those things where you pedal for 12 hours or something. Get a team of yous together and have pots, dress up as Santa and the festive spirit, and raise some money. Why not? Get doing it. Get yourself doing it. Every little helps. And I did the Scottish, I'm going to say, hit you as well, a wee Scottish thing. If you've seen my Scottish slang video, money a mickle, max a muckle, which means save up your pennies and your pennies will turn into pounds. And if you're saving up your pounds, it all accumulates into something bigger. So that's what you can do together, and the accumulation of everybody getting a little bit will make a serious amount, and it can help in some of the harder hit areas. But obviously donating things like soft toys, things for children who are not going to be getting toys this year because their house is burnt down. So look here, I hope any of the rest of you might come up with something you can do, but we'll continue. I'm not quite sure what my next challenge will be for this. I'm feeling like shit. I don't know if that's from Saturday, from the wind and the rain. I don't know, but at the end of the day, I said we'll just soldier on and we'll get on with it and we'll come up with our idea. I don't want to annoy people too much with me going, I've got another challenge, keep donating. But look, maybe the best thing for me is inspiring other people to do a fundraiser rather than me constantly doing it. I don't know, but we'll keep kind of encouraging you anyway to keep doing it. And I'll tell you something. I had an idea actually. Hot dog eating challenge. Getting a massive plate. Me and the kids eating as many freaking hot dogs, and like a timed challenge. Donations on that one. That was an idea because I actually love hot dogs. They're nice. But I've seen all the Americans that are like man versus food, and there's just, well, I don't think I'll be able to do that. But look, just for a bit of fun, getting the family together, doing something that's not going to cause them any physical harm, like going out in an ice pool. You know, they could get sick from that. So kind of just hot dog eating challenge. How many hot dogs can we eat in a few minutes or something like that there, and do it on a live stream again? I quite like the live stream challenges. So anything. Just think outside the box and get some ideas in there and we could do it. Firefighters are getting attacked by citizens. Fucking hell. My word. I've got no comment back to that without getting angry. Nice comment, Matthew. I'm glad to hear that. We have had strong southerly wind change here today in New South Wales, which is apparently helping to push a lot of firefighters back on themselves. Push a lot of fires, back on themselves, so they're actually stopping the spread. Oh, that's good to hear. Do a full body waxing. That's actually a good idea. Obviously, full body within reason. I'd probably get shut down by YouTube if I did the full body waxing. I kind of need my hair here in the UK, hairy arms and legs. I feel like I need it at this time of the year. We're getting into the sub-zero temperatures here again. So it's a good idea. I'm not opposed to the pain. I'm certainly for feeling the pain of it. Do you know what? I kind of get hair on my shoulders, and I wouldn't say I'm self-conscious about that hair. It's not too bad. I've seen people with worse, but I don't like it. So that's quite good. Just wax that stuff off. It's not too bad, but get a hairy chest and stuff. Whoa, that would be quite sore, wouldn't it, on the chest, I think? Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. I don't know. I would be game for it, though. I would be game for that. I'm not surprised to hear that coming from you, Dylan, mate, being an Avon representative yourself. I definitely need what's left on my skull. I'm getting kind of one of the freaking things that they wear. I don't know who it is that wears them. You see these skull cap things. I'm getting one of them there. Or like Friar Tuck out of the freaking Robin Hood. Does he not have one of them? Wax your eyebrows. That's a body challenge, mate. That is a challenge. Waft. What's that illness you get when your hair falls out? Alopecia. I would look like I had alopecia. I'd look ill. Oh, mate, I think that's a bit above my levels, my realms of comfort. It's a good idea, though, I must admit. My wife would divorce me. Swim in a bath of haggis. Do you know how dear that stuff is? Swimming in a bath of haggis. That would cost about, filling a bath, let me think how many haggises I'd have to buy. Possibly about 100. You're talking about £300 or £400, maybe, to fill the bath. I don't think it's value for money for what I would probably... it's a funny one, but I don't think it would be value for money for how much I would bring in on donations for it all. Couldn't make you look worse, mate. Dylan, mate, right? Everyone watching or everybody that watches this live stream back. Dylan, you've been a friend of the channel for a while. You've helped me out in loads of different ways. Me and you know. I'm putting a challenge to you then. Whatever challenge I come up with, you have to do it and get sponsors for doing the same challenge. Whatever one I accept and do on the channel, my next one, you have to do it also. You can't say no. You cannot say no. You have to do it. Everybody put pressure on Dylan now. Dylan is a Port Adelaide supporter from South Australia. Dylan S., you are doing the next challenge. I'm not too sure what it is yet, but when I say you have to do it, and I need video evidence that you've done it, and you need to get sponsors as well, and we'll put it in the pot together, and we'll save together. It's not going to be anything that's going to put you in physical pain. It's going to be a fun one. I feel like doing a fun one now. I've done two that have been... The sleep out wasn't too bad, though. It could have been worse. It wasn't too bad, in all honesty. It wasn't too bad. The ice one was sore, mate. It was fucking sore. So I'm not going to put you in physical pain. We'll look for a fun challenge, and I want video evidence, and I will put it onto my channel if you're happy enough to put it on the channel, mate. We'll put it up on the channel. We'll grow the... Mate, it's not wearing a Celtic top. All the money... I will never, ever, ever wear a Celtic top. Never. Never. Wow. I couldn't put it on my body. I would struggle to put that on my body for any money. I would struggle. Honestly now. It's too much. Dress as a woman for the day. That's a good challenge. It's a good challenge. I could do that. I could do that. Oh, mate, Dylan is a Port Adelaide supporter. He says he'll wear a crow's top. Mate, uh, mate, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yous would have to raise in the region of, I'm being serious now, for me to put this on my body, the money that would need to be raised for me to wear that rag on my back would be in and around £20,000. I swear, I couldn't. I can't explain to you. Right, put this into, just to explain something to you here. It took me ages to eat green sweets. I couldn't. I actually don't even think 20 grand would be enough. It would probably not be enough. I would seriously have to think about that. If you were willing to do that, mate, very, very difficult challenge for me, that one. My wife was looking at decorating the kitchen there because we had the dog pen in there where Romba Lomba, unbelievable. Round of applause for Romba Lomba donating to the channel. We're all the proceeds, this video and anything we do Australian bushfire related, 100% goes to the Australian bushfires. Koala, thirsty koalas, obviously helping there. It looks like they're fighting a thankless task there. It's brutal. And also, as I said, the fire service. I'm struggling to talk here. I'm going to get a wee drink of this. Incredible donation there. Thank you so much, Romba, mate. Dylan, all proceeds go to Celtic season ticket. Mate, they can't even sell out their own stadium half the time. I get it for free. Do you want to know what they did one time? Changing the topic slightly. Do you know what they did one time? Buy one, get... For anybody that had a season ticket, they were getting 2 tickets free with their season ticket because they didn't expect high numbers that day. We were down the divisions and selling out 50,000 season tickets, and they were having to give every season ticket holder was getting 2 free tickets. They used to have the whole top tier closed off with just a Nike flag over the empty seats because they couldn't sell their top tier out until Rangers came back to the Premier League, and then they were all wanting to buy their season tickets again. So I wouldn't even fucking wipe my arse with their top. Oh, I don't know. It's all good. Dylan's just having a bit of banter with me here. I take it in the best of spirits. No problem at all on my front. I don't know if anybody's getting annoyed by that, but no, definitely not on my front. Mate, did you just donate again? Romba Lumba's donated again. Fucking hell, mate. Thank you so much. Unbelievable effort, mate. As I said, 100% of anything I get back from YouTube. I want to point out one thing. For anybody that can type this as well will certainly help. The donations through the live chat, YouTube take a cut out of my control here. YouTube take a cut, and it's a considerable cut. So anytime you're donating, bear in mind, if you want to go to the GoFundMe, they don't take a cut. They ask you if you want to give them a gift, I think Peter George said. What a legend, though, mate. Romba Lumba. Cool as anything name. It reminds me of that band back in the 90s. Chumbawamba. Romba Lumba. Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. It's a bit like Australians right now. They're knocked down, but they get up again. They just keep fighting on. That's what that is, mate. That's fucking brilliant effort. Love that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I like talking away to people here from Australia as well, and then boom, you get these unbelievable. It just shines up. Do you know something? I got told off YouTube I can give stickers back, and I've never been able to do it yet, so I'm not too sure how I do that. How do I fucking send a sticker back? I don't know how I do this. I want to send you a sticker. Oh, fuck knows, mate. I was trying to send a smile. It's not letting me do anything. So I think there's stickers that can come with the donation, but I'm honestly not sure how I do it. Oh, mate, I don't want to waste anybody's time by just me doing that. I'll probably end up sending a bit of fruit or something, sending an emoji of a bit of fruit. But there was meant to be stickers that you could send. There's a couple of smiley faces if it works. Back. All right, Dylan. Thank you, mate. Dylan donated to GoFundMe and he only got charged a $1 fee. I know from my history of people doing this. When we did the... How do I close that now? Live chat. Let's get back on the live chat. That when we got Dylan donated the winnings on the grand final, YouTube took something serious off it through the super chat. I can't remember. It was $120. It was one. I think they left us with not a lot. It's converted into American dollars from Australian dollars, so it's really hard one for me to mathematically work out in my head. But they take their fair share, let me tell you, which is quite frustrating to me and everybody else, I'd imagine. Shite, I don't know what I'm doing. Restore chat. That's fucking about now. There we go. That's better now. Sorry for the fucking about there. Thank you. You're absolutely spot on. I'm not too clever with technology. Yes, mate. I think it was. Show that comment. YouTube blocks swear words. When you type swear words, it blocks the comment. You wrote assholes there and they've blocked it, so I've just knocked it back up for you there. What was I going to say? I'm not too clever with technology. I bought myself a nice one of these stands, the studio lights, but the woman's put it away. The wife's put it away for a Nokia 3310 Snake. Still plays Snake. But I got myself one of those studio lights. I'm not getting it till Christmas, so hopefully that'll help the lighting. And I've also got myself for this a good microphone that I can plug into the laptop for this to help the sound. Rumba Lumba, mate, you are going all out here. This is incredible. Mate, you're a fucking legend. How do I send you stickers back? Oh, it's annoying. I don't know how I send stickers. They told me I can send stickers to folk dancing across the screen. I don't know how to do it, but that is an incredible effort, mate. Thank you. Unbelievable. $60 donated there. It's come through. Magic, mate. Honestly, 100% of this is going to the Thirsty Koalas and the Australian Fire Service on the front line. Sorry for my throat. I'm trying to cheer there and go mad there, but everything just scraping down the... Lobster. Lobster refers to $20 bill. I've seen videos where they run across the screen, though. Do you get that when somebody donates? And did you watch the live stream and then it runs across the screen? I don't know why it's not doing it on my streams. Unless you can go all the way down and you can buy a sticker. Is there a link to my Patreon? When I do it through my laptop like this, I don't put my links in. I should do that, but when I used to live stream through my phone, I had the link in before I went up, but the description thing on the laptop's not as good. So it is just patreon.com/the Dons channel, which is all one word, lowercase, the Dons channel. Brilliant, mate. And you can check out our Patreon there and become a patron. We've not got many patrons, but the patrons we have got, greatly appreciated. Really, really does help because all that money I'm putting into that's for our own personal use, the Patreon, and we are putting that into our money, saving money towards our vlogging trips in Australia, which we're aiming to be able to save the money. I've got about £10,000 sterling target in my head for June 2021. I'll have the flights booked before then, and hopefully the accommodation booked, but I'll be spending money, tickets for AFL games, and obviously just general stuff that you're going to be doing, going around the touristy stuff. You want spending money, don't you? So I'm looking at aiming towards 10,000 internal flights as well. Sorry, car hire, etc. So that's the target in my head for that. I want to have a good trip. I don't want to be scrimping any penny. So all that money is going to that. Hopefully it's a dream. That's actually became a dream holiday of mine, because I'm taking the whole family and we want to really enjoy the whole thing. And do cool videos and everything, so you can see our reaction. I'm sure for people watching my channel, watching me doing AFL videos, will be really, really looking forward to seeing us having our first AFL game, and not just our first game, but our AFL going around the stadiums as well. Enjoying the Marvel, enjoying the Adelaide Oval, enjoying the G, obviously, the MCG, and doing our vlogging trips, going to like things like obviously, Dylan, you're going to help me out and take me around Adelaide, around the churches of Adelaide, because we're not going to pass any alcohol. I know Adelaide are big into their churches around there, so we're certainly going to take in the religious aspect of Adelaide and not the pubs, are we, mate? Definitely not going to do that. I'm looking to hire a Lamborghini, that's what it is. I'm not going to be hiring a Kia or a fucking Fiat Punto. Mate, I'm going to get a Guinness. I feel like I deserve one. Or a hot drinking. No drinking. Never going to drink alcohol when I come to Australia whatsoever. At all. Oh, mate. Wayne Grosvenor. That is a challenge I feel down the line. I'm not opposed to that idea, Wayne, and it is a tough challenge. And if you know my town, it's still backward. This town here hasn't evolved at all. You don't see sort of LGBT drag queen sort of things in this town at all. It's very much in the past. It's old man type mentality, where when you walk through the door, people put the drink down and have a look at you if you're different. So for me to walk in and drag queen is a brave thing indeed, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to that idea. It's a good one. The blood of Christ. Aye, doing the communion, the Holy Communion or whatever it is. Thanks, Disney Mad Down Under. No, it's my pleasure to do anything I can to help promote other people's fundraisers through the channel. Of course, Dylan's going to be doing exactly our next challenge. Dylan's going to be doing it as well. I feel like I want to do a food challenge. Now, people have said, oh, you should do a chili challenge, but I've done the hottest chili challenge a few times on the channel, actually, believe it or not. I've done the powder. I've 2 or 3 times I've drank the hottest chili in the world. I've also ate the hottest chili in the world 2 or 3 times, the Carolina Reaper. And it's hell on earth, but I feel like I've exhausted my efforts for that one. But that being said, I'm not opposed to a food challenge. I was thinking like man versus food type challenge, and I like hot dogs, and I was thinking getting the family involved, seeing how many hot dogs are in the roll, in the hot dog finger roll and the finger bun that we could eat. So that could be quite good, just for a bit of fun. How many could we eat? Razor364, we're coming in, which is our summer, June, July 2021 as a channel. I'm coming to Adelaide and Melbourne, possibly we'll branch out further. If I don't want to rush in round any places, I want to just relax and enjoy them. And one day here, we'll obviously go around South Australia for a bit. There's loads of nice scenery there, plus obviously around Melbourne and around the Melbourne area as well. I've been challenged to playing in a veterans footy game by one of the friends of the channel now, but it goes by the name of Muddy. Sent us a gift. He wants me to play in a veterans game, but I will do that, but I don't know if there's going to be any games on when I'm there. So if not, I'm going to meet up with him if I can. If we're running around the area and the time suits both parties to meet up with each other. Oh, Rumba, I've just seen your comment, mate. You're a fucking legend, mate. You're a legend. Look, Rumba, on a personal note now, Rumba Lumba, I don't know what your name is. I'm not too sure if your name will be different on the Patreon when I get. I'll write a personal message to you later, mate. No doubt about that. We're greatly appreciative of that as a channel, and obviously you're helping us now directly to get our trip. That's amazing. All of that, we don't buy anything out of that money. That just goes into the savings account, and we're saving up our target of that. What I said. Maybe even more if I can get a good video camera to bring over and make better videos when I'm there as well. If I've got anything extra from my target money, I'll buy a good camera. So it's all going to go into the whole vlogging experience as well. But all that money through Patreon goes into that same idea, that vlogging trip in Australia. We're a small channel. People think that you get through thousands of pounds on YouTube. You don't. You really don't. So I worked through the AFL season. I was at times mentally exhausted, but I was loving it that much to care. But I was mentally drained at some points. I think I was taking in 7 and 8 hours of footy to try and get that learning curve was like that, you know. But then when it started to even out, it was fine. So my learning curve going into 2020 and the AFL to bring my AFL videos to you next year is going to be like that. It's going to be more steady. I've got some good news. We've got some good news on each front. So we've got the announcement of new captains and stuff. I'll maybe look into all the new captains, new signings, the new draft picks. I'm quite excited about some of the young draft picks and some of the young players that had already came into the AFL. Quite excited to see how they do in their second season, and all the different clubs. That's really their chance to shine now and not just be a one-season wonder as such. Can they do it again? Can they become more influential? Can they kick on from where they went off in their debut seasons? Of course, Dylan, mate, you're a Port Adelaide supporter. You'll be looking to see like Rosie and Duersman, players like that there. How can they do in their second season? Certainly Port Adelaide would be looking to be the Smoky in Australia, won't they? I feel a good start, you know, they've put themselves in contention because they're not a bad side. I think that things have went against them, certain aspects last year, but loads of good signings. I like Sam Walsh at the Blues, the Colonels. I also like your wee lad at Sydney Swans. His name's just escaped me, and he's the son of the coach. I can see his face, I can't see his name. He's at Sydney Swans. He's the young he's the coach's son. He's fucking brilliant. He's really, really good wee player. But anyway, you know, this is all part of the whole thing. So thanks very much, Rumbalumba, for being a patron. If anybody else wants to, that'd be great too. I mean, honestly, I'll private message you on Patreon anyway, because that's fantastic to see. Anybody doing that, it really, really does help. So get reading a few more comments there. 2020 flag favourites, anyone? First of all, Rumbalumba, mate, who do you support? Just want to know a little bit more about you. You've just went and donated a good, an unbelievable amount of money through this live stream for the Bushfires and become a silver patron of ours, which is fantastic. I want to know your team first so I can kind of talk about your team for a little bit. You're a Saints man. So first up was Saints. Good and bad. It's been bittersweet, really, for Saints, can't talk. Saints. Obviously, the loss of Bruce was one of my favourite players for the Saints last year. Really, really good target man. He's a fighter. I like the Saints fighting spirit. They're a lot like the Bulldogs in that sense. He's went to the Bulldogs. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Bruce can do at the Bulldogs. I think he fits straight into their team spirit and their style of footy. They're a good, strong team spirit about them. Bruce has that sort of team player. But Brad Hill coming. one of my favourite players last year. He's here, he's there, he's every fucking where, Bradley Hill. You know, that was a song I had for him at Freo. I just thought he was fantastic. So he's really somebody I'm going to look forward to seeing at Saints. I want to see Saints do well. They've got a good team spirit about them. It'll be good to see what they can do. Sydney Stack as well, but will be a star. Yep, a lot of people saying his name. I don't expect Saints to penetrate into the top 8, but there's no reason why you can't be targeting 9th and 10th. There's honestly no reason. I think you look at North Melbourne, you look at Sydney Swans, you look at loads of their teams. They're much of a muchness over the course of a year. I think Dougal Howard is a great get for the Saints still, and I'll have to look into him. Thanks for that. I'll have to check him out. Brad Hill was at Hawthorn. I never seen him at Hawthorn. Cheers, Michael, mate, for that one. You feel that somebody says, I personally think that Richmond, they're not going to go too far away, are they? We're talking about, I think, the West Coast Eagles. Probably the closest team to be challenging Richmond for the flag next year. Really, really good side they already have. And bringing in Kelly, he is a fucking gun, mate. Fucking good luck to them. I hope they can do well. I always like an underdog. I always like backing a team that if they can get into the 8 against the odds, really, you want them to fucking go. Like, you look at the 2016 Bulldogs, they had a shite start in 2016. They kind of crept up the ladder, got themselves in 8th spot, and went on to become 2016 premiers, which was blew everybody away. Nobody ever seen that coming. And then they'd got 2019 there. I liked the way the Doggies finished the ladder. They were absolutely smashed teams in the ladder. They were arguably outside of Richmond. Whoa, mate. Fucking hell. What a donation, mate. Daniel Gray. Oh, honestly, mate. So generous gift. Really, really appreciate your help there. As I said, all of this money from this stream, from the video, just from views, from adverts, for whatever people watching it back, it all goes to the 2 things that I've mentioned. The Thirsty Koalas, the Thirsty Dawnfather is going to donate to the Thirsty Koalas, and the firefighters. So I appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's a legend. A lot of people are saying you're a legend, mate. You are a legend for that. Thank you so much. If anyone deserves a flag, it's the Saints. I think they've won 1 flag. Wait there. Wait. 1966? The Saints' last flag? I think it was against Collingwood. Is it 1966? I'm waiting on somebody saying, you're wrong by a year. 1967. I think it was 1966, and it was against Collingwood. Woof. Colin Wobbles. How many fucking grand finals have they been in and lost? It's crazy. You got it. Yes. I think people are saying yes to that. It was 1966. I'm not too bad. I got it right. Matthew Moses, thank you very much for confirming that. Saints, 1 point. 1 point they won it by. Wow, what a final that must be. Mark, mate, big Saints man. Fucking hell, you must watch it every year when you've only got 1 flag. You're so proud of the flag. The Saints fans are so proud of that solitary flag. But why not? At the end of the day, do you know what? They've tasted a little bit of success, and you know what? When a team like that comes out of nowhere and wins it, you're like, do you know what? At least it wasn't Richmond. At least it wasn't Collingwood. At least it wasn't fucking somebody who's got their fair share. People always like to see somebody like that. It's like soft spot for the underdog. ABC, anyone but Collingwood. Buckley's chance, right? I've got a video coming up of my Australian slang episode 3. I think me and the wife will do. I'll probably say for just leaving it until I can speak a little bit better. But I'm going to do Aussie slang phrases and stuff. But it's Buckley's chance. I'm going to do a live guess at this right now. But I'm going to say this, and I know it's wrong, but I'm going to change it to meaning this. Buckley's chance comes from Nathan Buckley being a Colin Wobble and never ever winning them. Premiers, flag winner, doesn't win flags. So this comes from Nathan Buckley, never winning premiers, never winning flags. Buckley's chance. You've got no chance because he doesn't win them, so he's no chance. Buckley's chance. You've got no chance. Is that what that means? But it's not from Nathan Buckley, but it is. It's Nathan Buckley being a Colin Wobble. Guess what a treadly is? A treadly. You've said guess what it is, so it makes it sound like it's a thing rather than a saying for something. It's a descriptive word. It's a slang descriptive word for something. A treadly. A treadmill that you run on. Trey Deadly. Oh, sorry. What is it? He won at a flag with Port Adelaide and Magpies, but not an AFL. Treadly Deadly. Treadly Deadly. Treadly Deadly. Treadly Deadly. Tread carefully. Tread carefully. There's dog shit on the floor. Nobody likes standing in a big steamy pile of dog shit. Brand new shoes on. Squelches straight up the sides of the shoes and everything. Treadly Deadly. Horrific. When you've just stood in a steamy pile of dog shit. Is that what it is? William Buckley was an escaped convict who escaped and went and lived with the Aboriginal. By some miracle, he survived. So you've got Buckley's chance. You've got no chance. So I've got the idea right. You've got no chance. But the Nathan Buckley thing I got wrong. So it was William Buckley. That was quite a good story. Thanks, Jessica, for that. Good to know a little bit of the history of that one there. That's quite good. It's a push bike. It's a bike. A treadly deadly. It's easier to say bike. This is the funny thing about Aussie slang to me. It's actually way easier to say the actual thing that you're talking about. Your shortened terms are longer than the word half the time. Or it's like Cockney rhyming slang, but it's actually easier like to say the frog and toad, the road, the dog and bone, the phone. It's easier just to go the phone, so. Oh, mate, Dylan, I've done that before, and no joke. Sorry if this is going to make anybody feel sick right now. Yeah, fucking ugly. I actually, fugly, fucking ugly. What's the other one? Cankles, when you've got fat ankles or something. I've heard folk calling fat ankles cankles. I don't know why that cankles, but cankles. We walk a lot, right, Dylan? I've done this, mate, because I had my dog. I used to have my terrier. I used to have a wee terrier, and he slept in the kitchen, and he had real bad stomach, and he had done the toilet on the kitchen floor, and I was barefoot going in. I don't know. I was going in the morning. I don't know if I was getting a cup of tea or a drink or whatever I was doing. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And I'm going to have to show his message here. So look at Dylan's message here, because you walk about barefoot in Australia, right? Look at his message here. So I walked in barefoot into the kitchen, and the dog had an upset stomach, and I stood in it, and it went up between the toes, the cracks of the toes. Oh! First thing in the morning, your day is ruined. Very, very upsetting. See a couple. Having a few Britney Spears beers. All right, I've got a question for you. This one should be fairly easy. Scottish slang. What does reeking mean when something is reeking? Can anybody guess that one? And I'll read on the comments. Stinks. Yes, as correct. Stinks. Reeking. Reeking. We roll our R's a wee bit more. It stinks. It smells. We've got so many things, but most of the things have to describe something. It's usually in a slagging sort of sense, like you're taking the piss out of someone. You know, that's usually where most of our sayings come from. Boggin's the same. Reeking and boggin. There must be about a million ways to describe the female genitalia, but I'm not going to say them. I'm saying nothing, Glenn, mate. I see your comment there. I'm not reading it out because I'll get the abuse. Okay, do we have any Adelaide Crows supporters here? Any Adelaide Crows supporters? And I know we've got Michael, mate. Michael is a Hawthorn supporter, right? So this is nothing personal. I was going to do the video of the 2020 home AFL Guernseys, and somebody was like, "What?" When I did the Indigenous round from 2019, really, really lovely tops, the Indigenous ones, and I made a passing comment about I was going to be judging the 2020 ones, but not all the 2020 ones are out yet. But they don't really change the home Guernseys. So I was thinking, like, what are your views on the Hawthorn Hawks home Guernsey? Bear in mind, it never changes. It's yellow and brown stripes. Okay? It really isn't a nice thing indeed, is it? At all. Yes, Jessica. Love this comment. Canko is a merger of the word calf and ankle. So you get fat. So fat can't tell the calf end and the ankle begins. That's exactly what it is then. Calf ankle, where you've got a calf ankle, a cankle. I couldn't remember that. I have heard it. I just couldn't bloody remember it. Love it. The best colours on the planet. So we're starting with the Hawthorn Hawks. Hawthorn Hawks, home Guernsey. As a neutral, if I was judging this, knew nothing about the sport, and I was going in to a shop and it has all 18 Guernseys, home ones, lined up in my size, what would be the one I would be least likely to buy? Based on its colour now, it would probably be the Hawthorn Hawks one, because it looks... It's been described as something to me. I'm not naming any names at all. But piss and poo colouring. Poo and wheeze is somebody else. Striped down it. Now, why is this the colours of Hawthorn? Well, look, I actually can't. Michael, mate, I commend your comment there. No way. Because it is unique. Nobody has brown. I've seen loads of yellow and black, but I've never seen yellow and brown. As I say, as a neutral, nothing personal about any club. It's really not a top. Look, the success of Hawthorn speaks for itself. The players they've had are fabulous. Three-peat. Incredible history in the club. But basing it on the look of the Guernsey, I'm giving you that comment there. Brilliant. It is unique. But let me put this back to you. Have you ever stopped to think it's unique for a reason? No offense, mate, but excuse me. Nobody puts yellow and brown together in striped form. It's like you've just walked under a burst pipe in a wall and it's ran down you in stripes. Yeah, hawks are brown and the beaks are sometimes yellow, so that's the significance of the colouring. Thanks very much, Peter. Welcome to the chat, mate. Don't know if you've been there earlier, mate. I missed your comment. Yeah, so this now puts us on to the Adelaide Crows. Now, again, nothing personal about the team, the people that support it, or anything. But what are your views on the Adelaide Crows Guernsey? For me personally, it was one of my least favourite, the home Guernsey, because it's just big, bold colours. See the colours of the Guernsey, the red and the blue. Yellow and going in with the red and blue. It's not really too bad when you see the yellow bit around here, around the sleeve. It's actually not too bad, but the bold colouring, again, I'll go back to the one that looked like Bassett's all sorts. It looks like something your granny knits you at Christmas, and you're like, and your mum, she's knitted you and all your brothers, the three of you standing together in this knitted jumper from your granny, and you don't have the heart to say you don't like it, but you wear it anyway, and you're like, in the photo. That's the Adelaide Crows Guernsey for me. It's a shame, really. If you choose one based purely off colours, it's the Bulldogs, isn't it, for me? Red, white and blue. But I'm going to, right, look, I'm not going to do the home Guernsey one. I'm going to do the away Guernsey one, because you're more likely to get a little bit more detail in it. Home Guernseys are very much the same thing every year. A little bit of a tweak in the collar or something, the colouring, that very rarely changes. So my favourite one, I must admit, is the Essendon one with the red sash. There's just from the shoulder to the waist, the red sash Guernsey on the black backdrop. It's the simplicity of it. It's the eliteness of it. Rumba lumba, mate. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, mate. Thank you so much. This is freaking fucking hell. Like, that's 4 donations and a patron. You are a very, very generous person. I want to get your name. We'll talk to you through Patreon about that as well. But honestly, your donations for helping here, the fire service and the Thirsty Koala, as I said, I think you wanted to put more of your money towards the fire service, which is perfectly fine. But all of it, 100% of all these donations is going to those 2 things. He does. He must be. As I say, it doesn't matter if it's a small donation, a big donation, but he's been really, really kind with us. Every little helps, no matter the donation. All of it's going towards what the 2 things that I've just mentioned. So back to the. Thank you again, but quickly back to the Guernsey situation for the home one. I think I like the Essendon one because it just looks historical. It's plain, it's simple. The big bold red line it's bold. The red sash coming down it, but it works. It's proud looking. It looks historical. I just like it. I think it's a crack. Thanks very much, Glenn, mate. Another donation there. I think that's about 6 or 7 donations already on this. I didn't expect any coming through here. Thanks very much, Glenn, mate. As always, you know, the red, white and blue, the mighty West. Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate it. And Bulldogs, so based on colour alone, it's the Bulldogs. For me, it was red, white and blue. But based on the actual Guernsey, which one I think looks the nicest and tidiest, probably the Essendon one. Although somebody just said West Coast Eagles. West Coast Eagles is nice. I don't really think there's many ugly Guernseys. I did make a point of saying the sponsor didn't look right on a Guernsey, and people kind of didn't really like that comment. But sometimes sponsors look shit. And I think on the Gold Coast Suns one, that kind of construction site looking Guernsey. Wow, he's done a fucking hell, mate. There's another donation. Glenn, mate, another donation. Thank you so much. I just keep seeing these lights flashing up every so often. I didn't expect anything here. Keep up the good work, guys. That's unbelievable. If that's from Michael, that's absolutely brilliant. Very, very generous, Glenn, mate. Really appreciate it. Been a friend for a while now of the channel, and me personally sending me this stuff. As always, all donations, as I said, that have came through here, 100%. I'm not taking a single penny of this. Somebody made a comment that kind of pissed me off, and I think if they were near me, they would have got the sharp end of my tongue if they were in front of me. About I'm a liar. I've never, ever, ever. I might have done many things wrong in my life, but I'll never fucking do anything like lie about something like this. I've fucking pissed off with that comment, let me tell you. But I blocked them instantly from that live stream. Haters are going to hate at the end of the day, but it does piss you off a little. Somebody popped that comment through. But all positive on this, which is nice to see. And it just shows you that everybody is willing to help the situation down under. Well done, everyone that's donated. I appreciate it's a difficult time, but a left field option is for people who can't. Dylan, you're a bastard. Dylan, Don takes Avon products though. I'm willing to accept if you got any throat lozenges. The Bulldogs brothers, the Mighty West. I'm willing to accept Avon products, throat lozenges to help. I know, Michael, mate. I appreciate that comment. And I know near enough 99.9% of my comments are positive. And I genuinely just swipe past any bullshit. I've had some personal comments for over the year that I've done the channel. I've had personal comments directed at us. And the majority of the time, you just don't fucking acknowledge it, or you just delete them, whatever you fucking think, mate. I don't care what you think. You're an asshole. You're the one with the problem. But I'd imagine, I think with Jessica's comment there's been probably people doing things like this, but I can assure you, and do you know what, even better than that, again, I can even prove that the money that I'm going to be getting will all be going through, because I'll publicly donate. I won't do it on the live stream, but I'll show everyone and I'll screenshot it and I'll put it on that I have donated. Rumba Lumba, mate, I'm starting to think you're some sort of millionaire, mate. Honestly.